Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and generals. Thanks for being here. We're honored that you're here with us today to recognize these great units, Bravo, BSTB, and the 179 Infantry. I want to personally thank the families, friends, and employers of these soldiers. Without your support, they would not be able to serve our state, nation, Army, whenever we're called upon to go somewhere in support of our nation. You two units, I stand here in awe of your commitment to your comrades, family, state, and country. Less than 1% of our nation's population serves in uniform. It's an honor to be serving with you. All of you jumped on this deployment with short notice. Some of you are combat vets, most have families, all have civilian jobs, or you took at least a year off from college. You stepped up when our nation called and you made a difference. Bravo Company, 45th Special Troops Battalion, on 28 August 2016, your 26 members mobilized in support with the 37th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, which is the Ohio National Guard, and K-422. You fell under the authority of the United Nations Security Resolution 1244. NATO has been leading a peace support operation in Kosovo in support of wider international efforts to build peace and stability in the area. Kosovo is a complex political and socio-economic environment with a variety of international and external nation-state and non-nation-state influences and actors. Military intelligence companies' soldiers support operations by continuously reviewing each of the sources of instability within the country and a region to determine, analyze, and answer intelligence requirements. The MICO is divided into specialized sections that provided a variety of capabilities and supported all levels of the military intelligence spectrum. Specifically, the human intelligence collection and analysis operations were conducted with the MICO personnel partnering with the Romanian intelligence personnel to develop leads and use personal contacts to answer the commander's intelligence requirements. The counterintelligence agents specialized in uncovering threats to both U.S. and NATO forces posed by terrorist activity, foreign intelligence services, and disruptive elements throughout the area. The ACE, or Analysis Control Element section, provided top-level synchronization, appraisals, and evaluations that assess the validity and reliability of all the intelligence collection. Imagery and signal spectrum information was routinely gathered and analyzed by highly trained intel soldiers in support of the mission as well. The MICO personnel supporting this mission created new standards and capabilities within the region that noticeably increased both situational awareness and the ability to action commanders' objectives. Hey, great work. Task Force Tomahawk. As Colonel Jordan said, you survived the coldest winter since the Ice Age. You played a part in advancing the strategic interests of the United States government. You had a part in building a combat training center that will help train the Ukrainian army for decades to come. You helped build the Ukrainian army opposing force. When you arrived, their opposing force never trained above individual level. Now all are platoon level. With your help, they now have real leaders in place that are free-thinking, free-moving, and able to lead their soldiers effectively. You helped get their vehicles in working order and assisted them in designing a new patch. The Ukrainian opposing force is functioning and will assist in training their own army when the U.S. is no longer has a presence there. You helped build and train the Ukrainian Observer Controllers, OCs. Now more confident, and their competence level is higher. With your help, Ukrainian OCs can now operate on their own as well. You actively helped train 2 battalions of the Ukrainian Army. This is an army that's been fighting nonstop since 2014. You showed them what competent officers, soldiers, and most especially NCOs can do. Hey folks, the Ukrainian Army doesn't have an NCO corps, but after watching the 179 NCOs, they're very interested in building one. Good job, guys. The Ukrainian Army is fighting for their nation's freedom by themselves. No nation's in the fight with them. There are a few nations that have provided some medical supplies and equipment, and there's only 4 nations on the ground helping train or advise. And they are Canada, Lithuania, the UK, and the United States, which in reality is the 179 Infantry and the Oklahoma soldiers. The Ukrainian Army has fought the enemy to a standstill. Hopefully your efforts will allow the Ukrainian Army to defeat the pro-Russian separatists and push the Russian forces all the way out of their country, return Crimea, the Black Sea Territory, and eastern Ukraine to its rightful owners, the Ukrainian people. Your actions will save lives and will have a positive generational change for the Ukrainian Army. They're now better prepared to fight and return to their families after your deployment. Ukrainian troops you trained will pass on the techniques, tactics, and procedures you taught them to their soldiers. And in time, those soldiers will pass them on to future Ukrainian soldiers. We're glad to get you back. You soldiers and leaders know how to correctly plan and execute training. You know how to train hard and use the 8-step training model. The vehicles and weapons of our enemy that we used to study by book or picture, you've experienced and trained with, put your hands on them, and watched in operation. Your experience will help improve the units you're returning to as well. You know how to correctly operate within a commander's intent. In the absence of orders, you always seize the initiative. You've seen and heard from the Ukrainian Army what it takes to survive in a hybrid combat environment versus a near-peer threat. Use this experience to teach your troops these lessons learned. I need you to continue to challenge yourselves in units. Create and execute fun and realistic training. Do the right thing even when no one was looking. Prepare for combat and the close fight. You never know when we'll be called again for a war or state active duty mission. Before you're released to your families, let's talk safety. I know you're excited to go home. Please be safe when you get there. Please stay off motorcycles. Enjoy a little time off, but do so responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Always wear your seatbelt. Your families and employers have missed you. Don't make them visit you in the hospital. Lastly, as I near the end of the trail, which is my military career, I look around and see the great quality and experience of our leaders. The Thunderbird Brigade is in good hands, your hands. Take care, God bless. Thunderbird 6 out.